Alright, so here we are again, doing some surf fishing. So I'm messing around with my bag. I got my light line here. So at the time, I think this is 4-pound line. I now have a 6-pound setup. Same thing, same exact rod and reel, though I guess I replaced the reel. The California Kuma reels are great. Turner's replaced it at like half the price when it inevitably got great salt and sand in it. So this is in Del Mar, California. Just throwing a Carolina rig with sand crab. I love surf fishing. It's just easy to do. Logistically, just get in the car and go. Don't really need to plan too far in ahead, as long as you just take a look at the weather, look at the tide, look at the current, look at the wave power. It's pretty easy to do. So I didn't have tons of luck this day, and really what I would typically do if I was just surf fishing like this with my light line, I'd be walking up and down the beach a lot. But as you'll see in a moment, I had my shark rig out, which is a 40 pound stuck in a sand spike, so really can't venture too far from it. So there it is, you see it. But I like to throw the Carolina rig just to keep myself busy. I don't like just sitting there on the beach. Even if I'm not catching anything, I'll just continue to do it. So using a sand crab, and you can see in front of the sand spike in my 40-pound rod, you can see all the sort of holes and divots in the sand, how it's not perfectly smooth. That's the sand crab. I have a like $3.99 strainer from, so this is in July, Del Mar, California, of 2023. So check out these sand crabs. These sand crabs are actually really good. So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to find a sand crab that has eggs on it, and the eggs are these little, they're orange. You can see. So the dark sand crabs are hard shell, and then you have like a dark gray, or what's hard shell, and you have like a lighter gray that's soft shell. So if you find a light gray sand crab that can like span the diameter of a quarter, that has orange eggs on it, you have to put that on your hook, because the surffish absolutely love the roe from the sand crabs. So I missed it. I don't know. Do I have? So you can see this sand crab. It's like bit in half. See how there's a little orange there? It's almost a guaranteed bite at the right time of year if you have the right sand crab with some orange roe on it, and they bite the eggs away. So you really have to make sure that you're hooking the sand crab on correctly. It's a finesse bite. You can double them up like you saw me do. So you get so many more bites than you get hookups. It's probably 50-50 from bite to hookup on a good sand crab. You just have to have the right size hook. It has to be pinned on correctly. That's where these fish know exactly where to bite to make sure they get what they want but not get hooked. So it's just a lot of fun. So right now I'm just kind of letting the wave action and the tide kind of take care of the I don't know. So now I'm hooked on seaweed. So seaweed stinks when you're fishing the surf. It's probably it's not probably, it is my number one frustration with fishing the surf is seaweed. You get tons of seaweed. Well, what's going on here? Oh! all right, something just bit on the big pole, so I gotta go put my light line down and figure out what's going on here. And you can see, so when the wave goes away, you can see what the sand crabs look like, but now I'm more concerned about what's going on with my 40 pound. So at this point, I know it's not seaweed, and I don't want to take my hand off where it is right now to turn the clicker off, because this is my first hookup. This is my first shark ever off the beach. You can see the seaweed hanging off my line right in the middle top of the screen. There you go. But I'm glad I didn't turn my clicker off, because now you can hear. At this point, there's a crowd starts to gather. You heard a guy ask, "Is it a boot?" There's always people walking up and down the beach. They see surfers all the time, but they're always gonna stop and ask you if you caught something. People just, honestly, I just think people like fishermen. I think they know that they have patience. They're worried about, learning a skill. They're just good humans. A lot of people surf, a lot of people swim in the ocean, but not a lot of people surf fish. So this is not the reel and rod setup that I would recommend if you're fishing off the surf. This is one of my rail rods, so this is my 40 pound that I'd use fishing off a boat offshore. But I just didn't have the right setup at this point. Why would I not use this? First of all, it's expensive, and every reel that you bring to the surf is eventually gonna get ruined. I don't care who you are or how careful you're gonna be. It will end up in the sand. It will end up in the salt water. It will get destroyed. So do not use a expensive reel for surf fishing. And one thing I've also learned about catching some of these leopard sharks is you do not need an expensive reel. I have 5 leopard sharks on a $90 reel, and it's still going.
Yeah.
So there you go. You saw them for the first time.
Yes.
At this point, there's like a crowd of people gathered. I have no idea, because it's all about the bite. All I want to do is get this fish in. I want to see what it is. I came.
Shark.
It's a shark. So So you see me like walk into the surf and then walk back out. All I'm trying to do is, imagine if I was a boat. I'm trying to go towards the fish in order to get that line in, and then I walk back out of the surf to get it onto the shore so I can get up the hook and all that good stuff. So here's where, this is my first shark off the beach. What I should be doing at this point is moving my rod so it is perpendicular to the sand. But see how I'm still holding it at like a 45-degree angle up? Do not do that. What you're really trying to do is pull the fish up out of the water. You're never going to be able to do that. So this is a bunch of things of what you shouldn't do. So I'm pretty excited. I got what I came for.
Oh, that's a big one. That's a keeper. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a keeper, but I don't keep this. I don't keep. I've kept one shark that I've caught, only because I wanted to try it, but I let most of them go.
Hell yeah.
Not because I think I'm saving the planet or I'm saving the ocean because I let the sharks go. It's just that I know I just have so much fish that I'm not gonna. I can't even eat the fish I have now. I have too much, so I just let it go. And it's at this point where you can tell I'm a noob because I could have got it. I should have my rod perpendicular to the sand. And I'm trying to get the line in. I think at some point I increased the drag. Because you're fighting the fish, you're fighting the surf. It's pretty tough. It's harder than it looks. So yeah, there's two things. So there we go. I increased the drag a little bit. But I should be holding, see, I'm like trying to pull the fish up out of the water. You're not going to do that. You need to drag it up onto the surf. You need to get that almost so there's, how do I explain? So you want your rod parallel to the sand, or just like, at this point you can just kind of crank the drag. I mean, I'm gonna let him go, so even if he gets off at this point, I would more or less consider him landed, right? Because it could be a challenge to get him off your hook as well. So if it happens naturally at this point, oh well. Look at that fish, beautiful. So these fish have to be 3 feet to keep. I got it, and at this point, I look around and I realize there's like a crowd of people. If you go to Del Mar, California at about, half an hour, 45 minutes before sunset on the weekend in the middle of summer, there's tons of people. But once you get up towards the inlet,
it's that gray cooler.
yeah, so you can kind of see all the people watching me. So I guess I stopped it there. But yeah, so there was a guy who helped me get it off the hook. I let him go, and that was my first leopard shark. So far, my favorite leopard shark spot. Talk to you all later.